Hello and welcome to Talk of the Course. We're still here talking about all things race day experience with me, Paul, and my co-host Matt. Matt, a great one today. The other most improved racecourse of the year.
Yeah, really excited today. Thanks, Paul. We're going to be joined by Carrie Gillam, who is the relatively new executive director at Uttoxeter Racecourse, who, like you say, along with Sandown Park, were the most improved racecourse year on year in our quality assured racecourse scheme. They saw an 8 percentage point increase on their score from 24 to 25. So we're going to hear from Carrie a bit about how the team went about that and what racegoers heading to Uttoxeter this year have to look forward to.
And plus, everyone's favourite section, the Quickfire 5, will follow the interview. But first up, here's Carrie Gillam in conversation with myself and Matt. Of course, Carrie, welcome along.
Thank you.
We're delighted to have you with us today. And the main reason is Uttoxeter did incredibly well on the Quality Assured Racecourse scheme last year. It was the most improved racecourse alongside another one that we've already spoken to this week in Sandown. You went up 8 percentage points, which is a heck of a lot. So, I mean, how did that come about? What was the changes you put in place to achieve that?
Well, I mean, as much as I'd love to be able to take all the credit, a lot of it was done before I started, which was lucky for me. So I only started for the New Year's Eve fixture last year. So a lot of the work went into it last year. This year, it's all about maintaining those changes, making them consistent, and looking at other ways that we can improve the customer journey through the actual racecourse itself. A lot of the changes that were put in, they took on board all of the comments that were made in the original, the first inspection that they had. And then it was taking those comments and looking at ways that we could adjust the infrastructure, change some of the food offerings that we had. There was a couple of comments on that there wasn't enough options, signage, communication, presentation of the actual site itself, and obviously accessibility, because we like to be as inclusive as we can be as well. So all of these things were taken into account. Small adjustments were made where necessary. Changes to infrastructure were made in order to make it a lot more accessible for all of our visitors. And obviously looking at what options we could offer for food, because that was one thing that we did get a comment on. We have got limited facilities in that respect. So it was looking at what we could do that would be quality and making sure that what we did was good and not do a lot that was bad. So a lot of changes went in from that perspective.
Yeah, food's a huge one. It's one of the ones that certainly over our time at the RCA, we've had our fair share of incoming, not just from racegoers, but media as well, asking the question about sort of sometimes there's a criticism that the food is pretty one-dimensional at racecourses or has been accused of being quite expensive for what it is. I mean, what are the changes you've done in that sense to you mentioned having more choice and potentially, different provenance? I mean, what things have you done in the food space that's really, really worked with your racegoers?
Well, I think one of the things that we looked at was affordability, which is massive, especially given the current circumstances for everybody. Disposable income just isn't there. So what we wanted to be able to do is to make sure that we weren't overpricing, that we weren't pricing ourselves out, but what we were able to offer was quality. As a group, ARC have put in a lot of work looking at different offerings in all of our race courses. They've all got different infrastructures, so something at one course might not be suitable for another. But we've got a fantastic partner with a company called Feast Street, and they do a lot of our temporary concessions that kind of come in, and they've got some fantastic equipment and chefs and facilities that they can then bring onto site, which can offer good quality, affordable food offerings. So we're now in a position where we can offer anything from mac and cheese to burgers to hot dogs. We have a Greek gyro type outlet now that comes on site. We're a lot more flexible on dietary requirements. We're able to cater for a lot more, whether that be an allergy or just a preference or anything like that. So just trying to kind of tick all those boxes. But like I say, it's kind of going back to basics a little bit, doing basic or simple food well rather than complicated badly, and making it affordable.
Sometimes, the basics are the best, and it doesn't, like you say, something done simply but really well is going to be so popular, isn't it, than trying something really convoluted and potentially not achieving it. So, no, I'm hungry. I want to get myself to try these new outlets.
You've discussed there some of the things that have happened, and you mentioned as well about maintaining that and sort of building on the momentum that you and the team have got at Uttoxeter. So, looking to the future, what's important for you moving forwards, and what's the next things that you're going to try and achieve at Uttoxeter?
I came in, I was really fortunate. So I've got an amazing team that are really well established. They've been there a long time. They know that race course like the back of their hands. They know a lot of the regular people that come to the race course as well. And you can't buy that type of kind of experience. So having them there and having the passion that they want to just keep pushing, keep making things better, keep improving is unbelievable, and an unbelievable support for me. So, I mean, what we do is we just get every single piece of feedback that comes into the race course, whether that be via our owners and trainers, the syndicates, or our normal race goers, hospitality customers. Every bit of feedback that comes in, whether it be good or bad, is reviewed by the whole team. And we look at ways that we can either try and fix whatever might have been the issue, or look at options to improve certain facilities. But on the reverse of that as well, we get a lot more positive feedback than we do negative. So it's also to share that with the team so they can see that all the hard work that they're putting in is showing that people are appreciating it and people are seeing the changes that are being made. So it's a constant review. It's something that's ongoing all year round, with or without the inspections that we get. It's just something that we're constantly looking at, and constantly looking at new ideas, new facilities. We're going to be undergoing our biggest refurb at the racecourse in many, many years, with the new weighing room starting in June. And part of that is we're losing some of our facilities. So it's all about how do we maintain the levels that we've been able to get to in standards and service, with the added implications of having building work going on and things like that during race days. So it is a constant review, and to try and make things consistent, and constantly looking at things in a different way, really, because we've got to think outside the box to try and make sure that we can still deliver what we've always delivered, but with slightly limited resources.
A theme that's come up in the last few episodes of Talk of the Course has been feedback, and you mentioned it there, Carrie, of that always constantly looking for feedback from customers, from assessments, from, I guess, your own team even. I mean, maybe just touch on that again, like how valuable is that? And I guess that's a 365-day a year thing that you're going to always receive it from many outlets. I mean, how do you absorb that across the team?
I think the really good thing about ARC Racing in general, as a group, they're very proactive in wanting feedback, particularly with owners and trainers, because obviously they're the reason that we're there. So looking after them and making sure that they have everything that they need, they're able to bring their horses to the race course and know that they'll be looked after, all of those type of things. So there's an active campaign to get feedback off everyone. We have dedicated managers who look after the owners and trainers. So if they have any queries or any questions, they can go to that manager centrally to make sure that that's all addressed and they have everything that they need. Alongside all of our hospitality customers get a feedback email after they've been to visit us, and we've got a really high percentage of returns on those. And the same with anyone who purchased admission tickets as well. They get a feedback email post racing, and it all goes into one big system, which I got the training on this morning. So we've got one CRM system that pulls feedback together from TripAdvisor, from Google, from all the emails that we send out, everything like that. And it puts it all into one place. And then I can go in and review that, and pick up on anything that I think might need to be addressed, or pass on the positive feedback to the team that also gets put through there. But also I'm available. I get a lot of emails, some text messages. My number's out there, so very often I'll get an email or a text message, but I do try to make sure that I get back to everybody, whether
It's
that be a
vulnerable
thank you
but
feedback.
dangerous precedent to put that out there, but fair play to you for doing it.
To be fair, it wasn't completely my choice, but but no, it's absolutely fine. That we get some great feedback, but it's just making sure we engage with every person that sends feedback into us to either say thank you very much, or we're glad you had a really great time, or just to let them know that we've taken on board what they've said and these are what we're implementing to kind of help address those.
I think having that mindset of being so open to feedback and sort of actively encouraging it is so important, and you can tell from the changes that you've made to the product and the 8% increase in score year on year that having that mindset is the correct way to go about it in order to improve for the long term.
Definitely, definitely.
So we touched on the quality assured scheme report you had there, and the increase in score you saw year on year. And one of the things that the assessor specifically referenced was the presence of staff on site, whether that be the sort of general staff that were there to help with customer inquiries, or your catering staff, or even cleaning staff, and people like that as well. So how do you work with those just the race day staff and staff that come from sort of temporary agencies to really make sure they're sort of bought into what you're trying to do at Uttoxeter and provide the best race day experience for your customers?
I think we've got a really well established team of casual workers that work with us on race days. So they're very aware of what our standards are, what our expectations are. And some of them are very familiar with customers as well, because they've been looking after them for so long, which is absolutely great. We get some customers who specifically request certain members of staff. I've got a fantastic team that work day in and day out, getting the place ready, training staff, getting everything in place, ready to open the gates to the guests coming through. So I'm really, really lucky from that perspective. A new initiative that ARC Racing have recently put in is to centralise the staffing. So, as is the nature of the business, we're very heavily reliant on agency staff on race days, which can sometimes be a bit hit and miss because they're obviously not career hospitality people, so they don't quite have the same passion. And also, they're quite young, so they might not have the experience. So, undergo a number when we go out to the agencies, we go out to them with a very kind of strict list of the type of experience that we want and for what areas. And we're very lucky that we get a lot of those back race day on race day. But because we've split the country into regions, we're in a position now where we're able to offer casual staff more hours rather than them just being based at one race course. So a member of staff that might work with me at Uttoxeter may work in a couple of days at Doncaster or Southwell, or that type of thing. So it gives us a lot more flexibility and a lot more incentive for people to stay regular with us, which is key to being able to offer a decent service to our customers.
Something you touched on before, Carrie, which is that affordability. And I think all the things you just mentioned are clearly resonating with people when they get to the race course. But of course, we've got to get them there in the first place. And I see Uttoxeter offer lots and lots of packages that are designed to add extra value to the customer when buying in advance. I mean, could you just maybe run us through some of those? What are the options available for people wanting to spend, not as much, but getting lots of money, value for the money in terms of food, drink, race cars, etc., right through to that sort of more top end package where you're looking at hospitality?
Yeah, absolutely. So every race meeting we look at, most of them are themed. So we have our family days. So obviously we want more families through the gate. Again, back to affordability and kind of value for money as well. That's one of the big factors for any family that are looking to take a day out. It can get so expensive. So all under 18s go free across all ARC racing. So that's a really nice initiative to try and get the younger kind of generation interested in horse racing. We put on an awful lot of free activities, so entertainment, inflatables, golf, all sorts of things to try and make the day a lot more valuable, really, for what people are paying. And we do family tickets as well, and a number of other kind of incentives for them. So we're just about to launch a family ticket, which includes food. So it'll be a set fee. We haven't quite agreed on the price yet, but it'll be somewhere between 25 and £30. And that will include 2 adults, up to 6 children, pizzas and soft drinks.
I mean, that's just incredible. I can't think of many other venues that, a family would be appropriate for a family day out that are offering that kind of value, 25 quid up to, is there 6 kids and 2 adults and pizza and drink. What a fabulous day. I mean, it sounds great. And for £25.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's all looking at what we can afford to deliver, because it's all about getting more people on site, more people interested in horse racing. We've obviously seen a massive increase in the number of people that are now attending race meetings in the last kind of 12 to 14 months, which is brilliant. But we need to keep pushing that. So making it more accessible, making it more affordable. We're going to be launching an initiative with the Staffs FA soon. We're going to give the opportunity for the grassroots team to nominate a family who may or may not be able to come to a race meeting, whether that be financial or anything else like that, where we will give them a family ticket to attend on a race meeting. And we should have that initiative up and running soon. So it's looking at our local community. I think that's the main thing. I've worked for a number of different sports venues. And they've all been very heavily embedded in the community, supporting local schools, supporting local grassroots clubs, just making sure we're not outpricing ourselves and we're not becoming that entity that, people look at, yes, for a special day out, but also what are you doing on Sunday? Do you fancy like going racing? Because it's not hugely expensive.
Mm.
And then it's what do we do when they're on site as well? It's all about added value. So making sure people are getting value for money. You can offer discounts, but that very often doesn't make a massive difference. So it is the packages, like including race day programs where we include a drink voucher and a food voucher. If you don't want to go into a restaurant, you can have the more informal package like the Prem Plus. But then we kind of have a mid-range package where you can have a 2-course meal, some inclusive drinks, and you'll have a base for the day in the marquee, all the way up to our 1907 restaurant where you can have 4-course meals. You've got views across the racecourse, all of that type of thing. Really great for celebrations. And then your private box holders. So the private boxes are slightly different in that we have packages that start from about £75 per person. So that's more affordable, right the way up to £250 per person. And the menus reflect the price. You get a private box, you get a host, you get a private bar. So there's lots of perks with lots of different packages. So it's just trying to make sure we don't overwhelm everybody with too many options, but making sure the options that we do put out are suitable and people can see the value in them.
Yeah, it sounds like there's something for everybody that wants to come there. You've sort of built a real product ladder from really affordable entry prices for families, right up to sort of hospitality for people that want to enjoy that. And you touched on it before as well, that a lot of the race days have a theme. And I was looking at Uttoxeter's website earlier on, and it looks like you're set for a really exciting summer, loads of different music acts and lots of great racing as well. So what can people that are heading to Uttoxeter over the summer months expect?
Well, we are obviously in a period where we don't race at the moment. So all of April is the time where we put the track back and we do essential maintenance and improvements. But we start back up again with Staffordshire Plate on the 2nd of May, which we've kind of taken it down. This is Staffordshire route. So everything that is Staffordshire. Again, it's kind of a family day. We've got lots of family activities. There's lots going on. And obviously there's the racing. We've then got our ABBA race night, which is proving to be very, very popular. So you get racing and then there's an ABBA tribute band afterwards. We've got Martin Kemp here doing an 80s revival with a variety of different kind of options, and racing again. That one's proven to be very popular. We're very limited on what we've got left in hospitality on that day. We've got 2 family fun days throughout the summer. One's a pirate takeover. So we've got mermaids telling stories, we've got crazy golf, we've got inflatables, we've got a pirate show. And then in July, we've got more activities on another family race day, and all of this alongside racing. So we've got lots of summer afternoon racing, the family days, the music nights. There's a lot going on in the summer.
Well, from the sounds of it, we've got pizza, pop, pirates, Staffordshire Plate, Robbie Williams tribute, ABBA tribute. It's all going on at Uttoxeter, plus the fantastic jump race. Exactly. What could be better? I mean, it's all, and the fantastic jump racing to top it all off. So, I mean, if anyone's interested in checking that out for yourselves, I mean, head to Uttoxeter's website where tickets for all those events that Carrie's outlined are on sale now. The packages are all there as well, so you can go and treat the family, treat friends to a day out that's not going to break the bank at Britain's most improved racecourse for customer experience in the last year. So we move on to Quickfire 5, which is where we learn a little bit more about our guest. Carrie, are you ready to play Quickfire 5?
Yeah.
Okay, she says trepidatiously. Right. Favourite venue you visited for customer experience that is not Uttoxeter?
Principality Stadium.
Do you have an official racecourse dog, yes or no?
We do, yes. Our clerk of the course has got a lurcher called Safi. And sometimes my dog when he wants to go in and behave himself.
What's the ideal pre-race day breakfast?
Bacon butty.
Nice.
What's the best racehorse you've seen at Uttoxeter?
Oh, I think it would have to be Mr. Van Gogh.
Yeah, recently seen at the Entry Grand National Festival.
Yeah, I think he would probably be my choice.
And finally, now, a wise, if not eccentric man once told me that Uttoxeter could be pronounced Uxeter. So can you settle the debate for us? Is it Uttoxeter or Uxeter?
Uttoxeter.
There you go. Uttoxeter it is. Carrie Gillam, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a real pleasure.
It's been great. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the latest episode of Talk of the Course. If you enjoyed it, please rate us 5-star on the podcast platform of your choice and subscribe to make sure you don't miss future episodes.
Hooray!